Chelsea Football Club can't just have good news. They always have to have a little bit of good news than bad news. All of a sudden, the good news is Christopher Nkunku is very close to coming back into the first team, but Raheem Sterling could be getting suspended for something he did against Spurs. We've got two wonder kids that Chelsea are actively chasing. One of them, they've put a £25 million bid in, and within a month, we're going to know if it's accepted. And the other one just scored a goal against Manchester United that basically knocked them out of the Champions League. We'll break that down. And finally, Emma Hayes, the best in class in women's football. She is the best manager and she's set to be leaving. However, people wanted to turn that as an agenda against Paul Weir-Stanley. I'm going to explain it and we're going to get into it. Welcome to the Kavkas View. Today is not the sofa, today is the plan and the chill out vibe. But we have got a lot to talk about. You lot clearly enjoyed what you guys saw in the preview. You like the running order, so let's get the little admin out the way. Number one, hit that like button. 1,000 likes on this video goes a long way. Number two, subscribe to the channel because you lot clearly like what you see and you're enjoying the content. Number three, in the pinned comment is my Instagram and my TikTok. Instagram, if you guys want to see what I get up to on a daily basis, follow me there. And number two, TikTok, that's where I talk about all the other football stuff. So that's all in the pinned comment. Go and follow me there. But now let's move on with the story for you what you lot came. I like my vegetables first. Not a big fan, so we'll leave the dessert to after. So now we're going to talk about the bad news. Number one, Raheem Sterling might be getting banned for a game or two, and we don't know how long that extent is, but the Daily Mail has released that the Premier League and the FA are inquiring now to what has happened with Raheem Sterling in the Spurs game. After we made it 1-1, the Chelsea boys were all in and around a little cuddle, and Raheem Sterling on video, allegedly, we have to say allegedly, but if you watch the video you could see he threw a little missile back at the Spurs fans. The question here arises, did it hurt anyone? I don't think so. Like, we haven't heard anything, we haven't seen anything, so we will proceed with the assumption that no one got hurt. Was he throwing it with intent? I don't think so. If you look at the way he throws it, there is no aggressive manner in there. So I think this is just either it's clickbait articles or it's the FA trying to punish someone just to make an example out of him. Because the reality is, Chelsea was celebrating, fans are throwing stuff onto the pitch, Raheem picks it up and throws it away. Are you really going to tell me he threw it in the crowd, or was he just trying to get it off the pitch? That's what he should be arguing. For me, this is ridiculous. Raheem Sterling is very important to Chelsea Football Club, and Raheem Sterling is very productive for Chelsea Football Club, in my opinion. A lot of people don't agree with that. I think Raheem has got a big role to play if we are going to be successful. But the issue here remains, and this is the big issue. If he's suspended and we just get Nkunku back, this is just so counterproductive and so Chelsea, right? We're going to be very frustrated. We're going to be very annoyed. But sadly, if they decide to ban him, there's nothing we can do. I really hope they don't. So let's move on with the next one. Christopher Nkunku is getting the hype like he's Lionel Messi or Cristiano Ronaldo or prime Neymar. Because the way everyone is looking forward to him returning is unbelievable, right? I think I am one of the most excited people to see him. And even though I said I was very hesitant about the signing, the more clips I watch, the more I see videos of what he used to offer, the more excited I get about the idea of him in this Chelsea team. The reality is Christopher Nkunku is integral to what we're going to achieve this year. If Chelsea are going to make top four, if Chelsea are going to win some cups, Christopher Nkunku needs to bang, and he needs to come in and hit the ground running. And that already, me saying it, is unfair. Because the reality is this guy's been out for what, 3 months? He's had numerous injuries last year, and someone in the comment section before said, Alex, he's never been injury prone. Listen, if you've picked up 4 injuries in the span of a year, you're injury prone, right? He missed the World Cup due to an injury. He came back, picked up another injury. Then he picked up another injury. Now he's picked up another injury. He is injury prone. If it's been 365 times you went to bed and woke up and you've picked up 4 major injuries that have kept you out for a considerable period of time, you're injury prone. We need to look after him. We need to look after his body, and we need to make sure that we ease him back into the way of things at Chelsea Football Club. Because at this moment in time, I can't lie to you, we can't risk him being out for a long period of time. Because he can play in the 9, he can play on the left, and he can play in the 10. That enables us to rotate Cole Palmer. that enables us to rotate Nicholas Jackson, and that also enables us to rotate Mykhailo Mudryk and move Sterling to the right-hand side. He's productive, he's efficient, and he's a player that, in my opinion, is the best at playing from the left-hand side. I don't like him in the 9. I don't think he's got tactical versatility to play in the 10. I think he's phenomenal in the left wing, purely based on the fact that he can link up with Jackson, he can link up with Cole Palmer, he can make those in-swinging runs where he just makes the diagonal run in, and at the same time can link up and take pot shots. For me, this player is going to be an asset for Chelsea. I can't wait to see him. Fabrizio Romano says he's not going to be risked against Manchester City, but he should be back straight after, and there have been numerous sources that said that. Speaking about resource allocation, Chelsea Football Club at this moment in time are really staying strong with their new way of doing business. Like, they will acquire young talent and they will bank on them to develop, either to get flipped for more money or come into the first team. And there are 2 players that Chelsea Football Club have been actively looking at. Number 1 is someone called Gabriel Mascado. Gabriel Mascado is an individual that is a Brazilian. I think he's 18 years old. We heard of him last year. There was a 20 million euro bid rejected on transfer deadline day. Corinthians did not want to sell, and Chelsea now have put in a bid over 25 million euros, and the deal is just on the table. At the moment, Corinthians are going through a presidential elections. The way their teams work is their sporting director and their presidents are hired on an electoral basis, right? Every 2 to 3 years, they rerun for policy, and then they come in and they basically make the decisions. At this moment in time, the new president will decide what's going to happen with his future. Chelsea are very keen on trying to secure this asset. They believe that he has got all the credentials to be phenomenal at Chelsea Football Club. He's, I think, 18 years old. He's a CDM, very Declan Rice build. Like, very Declan Rice. Tall, combative, carries the ball well, wins challenges, and physical for an 18-year-old. Like, you look at him and you're like, this is a specimen. I have not watched enough clips to know what he's like on the ball. I don't watch Brazilian football, so I can't tell you what he's like on the ball, but I'm very excited to see. The player I have watched, and granted, it's only been 45 minutes, is Rooney from Copenhagen. Chelsea apparently are still eager to get this player. They are obsessed with him and they're crazy about him. They think he is phenomenal. The 17-year-old right winger is very, very composed on the ball. Swedish born. I don't know if he's got any caps for Sweden as of yet. I have not looked that up. But what I saw from him against Manchester United, I'll break it down. He's a player that is very composed on the ball, ability to glide in and out of people, and for me, having that kind of control, that kind of confidence at that age lets me know one thing: this kid's a baller. Because there are a lot of players that don't want to come in and don't want to like just hold on to the ball, but he was the opposite. He was taking shots when needed. He's got 7 goals in 14 Danish league games. He's got 10 goals in 23 games in all competitions. 6 of those games are in the Champions League, so you need to take that into account. He's got 2 goals in the cup. Overall, he's got 10 goals. He's the youngest ever player to score in the Champions League. One thing I'm going to say about Chelsea's policy is they know how to find them. They've been scouting these players, and you can really tell that these players are good. The problem for me lies and remains here: what's the plan for these kids? I don't know. And because you can loan them out, they can end up getting 100 league games somewhere, but then when they come back, it's like, are they ready to play, or are we going to flip them? Because the reality is, I'm not getting attached and excited about any of these players playing for Chelsea Football Club, because the reality is they're not going. And I'm tired of like looking at players and then getting upset the way I did with Jeremy Boga, the way I got with Charlie Masunda, the way I've got with Dom Solanke, the way I got with other players that have left Chelsea, moved on, haven't achieved the heights. But part of the reason is because they're at a lower level, so they never developed to become the players that they were meant to. So it's just interesting to see what Chelsea do. I'm not being negative about it, nor positive. I haven't got enough information to make a decision, so we just need to be objective and see what happens. It's been a heck of 24 hours for the Chelsea ladies team. I'll be honest, I don't watch Chelsea ladies football. However, I watch the big occasions, right? A Champions League semi-final, a Champions League final, an FA Cup final. So I am aware who Emma Hayes is, and I'll be honest, I love the way she speaks about football. Her interviews are very inspiring, her commentating is top notch, and her punditry is beyond amazing. She gives you insight, she gives you entertainment. She's somebody that you listen to, you're like, I could work for this person. Well, it looks like this individual is going to be leaving Chelsea Football Club to join the US women's national team and becoming their manager. After that news was announced, what happened? A bunch of articles came out that Paul Winstanley is under serious pressure because he let her go. He stopped concentrating on renegotiating with her, and actively, because of that, she went and joined the US women's national team. However, today we've had Ben Jacobs and other individuals, Nazir Kinsella, come out and say that's not true. Chelsea were actively trying to retain her services. They offered 4 times the salary. 4 times the salary she's on, but the US just gave her a package that was so good that she believed it was best for her and her family to relocate. Now I need to talk about the knock-on circumstances, right? She is best in class at that role. There are not many people better than her in that job. So the fact that she's leaving Chelsea are losing a serious asset. And I don't know how they're going to replace her, but we have won a heck of a lot with her. We have built a great team, built a good culture, and she's a winner. So good luck to her, and we love it. What I don't like is the abuse that Paul Winstanley's, because I feel like there is a side of a fan base now where whenever things go wrong, it's his fault. And straight away, it's become the trendy thing. Oh my God, he's terrible. When really, if he's given the woman 4 times the salary, if you give anybody 4 times the salary, I think you're trying to keep her. Like if I'm on 50K in my role, if someone's offering me 200K and I'm leaving, at what point is it, I genuinely just want a new challenge, and it's nothing to do with the place I'm working at. It's just the reality is I need to leave. Because what can he do to keep her? 4 times the salary. You can't give her 20 times the salary. It's just financially not plausible, right? It's just not worth the money. Because reality is there is a limit to what you can pay everyone, right? Because at the next point, it's just not financially, from a business standpoint, feasible. He's given her 4 times, and yet people still want to have a dig at him. All I'm going to say is he is on thin ice purely based on the fact that in last few transfer windows, Enzo, Igbali had to come hold his hand. Caicedo, Igbali had to come hold his hand. Mudryk, Igbali had to come hold his hand. That's not a good trend. So now the fan base has lost faith in you, big man. You're going to have to regenerate that. You're going to have to regain that. Don't know how, but you're going to have to. This was your latest Chelsea news. I hope you lot enjoyed it. It was a little bit different. So hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Let me know your thoughts. Peace out. I'm out. Hasta luego. Make sure you hit that like button.